Well, Rado, first we'll look at the squad ins and outs. So everybody bar Geordie Boss is available. Is everybody fit to start?
Yeah, everyone is fit. Geordie, unfortunately, we are missing him, but he trained yesterday and he's in training today. So he is progressing quite well, and hopefully he should be able to join us for the next game.
In terms of the recovery from the Western Sydney game, it was an incredibly hot day, and your boys did a lot of running in that. How did they recover?
It's interesting. We did less running than our previous games because obviously we controlled the game more in their half, and basically it wasn't transitional game where you run from one goal to the other. It was more controlled, so running was not as much as what we had in last few games. But nevertheless, the conditions were quite difficult, and boys had a couple of days off, and they look very, very good. So hopefully we can have another good game on tomorrow.
What have you learned about your side from that Western Sydney game, Rado? Because obviously not a lot of the time where you're going to have that much possession and that many opportunities to attack a low block like that. Did you learn anything about the side doing a review that you didn't know before?
No. So basically, that's the way that we would like to play. We would like to keep the ball more in opponent's half. We would like to have a very high line once we are in opponent's half, and we would like to keep the ball for longer periods of time until we can create some really good openings. So, obviously sometimes opponents, they drop off and they play deeper, which then it suits us. But also we are working quite a lot on fast movements and fast penetration. So depending on how opponents set themselves up, we believe we can have more than one way of penetrating and creating goal scoring opportunities.
So do you think if you played that game again, some of the shots that you have fall your way and you score 4 or 5 and it was just one of those days that you only got one?
100%, Joey. If Tilio's header goes in, we are 1-0 up, and the game completely changes. So every decision making that players make changes the game. So if there was a corner and it's not given or it's given, it changes everything. So from that moment, it's a new stream of the way that the things will go. So you can't compare one game to the other just because you're playing against the same opponent. You can't even look at the same game. What would happen if you never know? Maybe you score a goal first and you lose game 3-1, or you score a goal first and you win 4-0. So it's most decisions that changes all that are decisions that players make, and we're trying to kind of show them the way to make those decisions and give them freedom to express themselves. And Tilly or Geordie, both the younger boys, have been really exciting to watch. A lot of boys have being able to express themselves in the games, and I believe that giving them that freedom, that we can only benefit in next few games.
In terms of the next few games, your next game against Brisbane Raw, another very stout defensively side. What have you identified that you'll need to do right this time around to get a win against them?
If we can create as many chances as we created against Western Sydney, if we can have 31 or 30 plus shots on goal, you're probably going to win the game. We just need to be obviously aware of the transition moments. They got some very fast players in that front line, and they don't hesitate to play the ball over the top. So they're going to be trying to exploit that part of the game, and we just need to be relentless and dominant in their half when we have the ball, and our rest defense have to be spot on, so we avoid those moments where maybe they can hit us on counter attack.
And with Geordie Boss out, does Scott Jamieson start at left back?
Yes. Scotty's coming back. He's just been a little bit unfortunate with Geordie's performance. Was so strong, and everyone at the club is excited about Geordie. But to have Gemma back, it's a good replacement.
And Jamie McLaren had his 10-goal streak broken by the Wanderers last time out. Was he steaming in the dressing room after that?
Yeah, he was, of course. When you're a goal scorer and you don't score a goal, of course you are steaming. But I think everyone realizes that it was just one of those games when things didn't happen, and the harder you try, the less it turns out. Turns out the way you would like. So we had, as I said, we had enough opportunities to, create maybe even better chances for ourselves. But it is what it is. We move on now. We look forward to Brisbane game.
And just Brisbane, we've seen a couple of goings from Brisbane. They've sold Cyrus Demi to Scandinavia. They're looking like Richard Danzanki's off to Motherwell. Can we expect any movement coming to or leaving City in the coming days or weeks?
Not that I'm aware of. Obviously, if something is happening behind the scenes, I have not been told. But yeah, I don't think that we need any replacements. I don't think that we need any reinforcements. But then again, you never know if something comes up, and it's quite a good opportunity for us to bring some young player in. We would always look to if that suits us and the player, and then maybe try to do it.
I'm not suggesting that you have, Rado, but do you, as the interim coach, do you have the ability to go to Michael and Pedge and the City higher-ups and tell them, I need another defender or I need another midfielder? Do you think you do need that? Is that how it works there at City?
Yes. I mean, there's obviously, everyone is quite keen to support the coaching staff. But as I said, at the moment, we don't really we haven't got any injuries. We got quite a few starters on the bench to come on and help us game changes. So it's not that we are desperate to strengthen any part of the team. But as I said, if there is something special, some special talent that we can maybe bring, why not?